everyone, and welcome to Franklin County Business and Professionals Women's Working Women Helping Women TV show. With me this evening, I'm Danielle Martel, the president, and with me this evening is Pearl Gilbert, one of our longtime members and past local president twice. So welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It looks fun to be here tonight. So
Yes.
looking forward to seeing what we can get out there for folks to find out about us.
Great.
Yeah.
So would you like to start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Pearl Gilbert, and I live here in St. Albans with my husband Dan of 47 years, and we have 2 sons, both living out of state, and 4 grandchildren, which I love, getting to see them occasionally. I have had a career with IBM for 30 years, and in 1990 I started my own business as an independent insurance securities representative, and today I represent Transamerica Financial, and I've been with them now for 20 smart years, I guess, 23 years in the business, so a whole new career after IBM, and been a member of BPW since 1996.
Great.
So, yeah.
Wonderful. So would you like to tell us what goals you hope to achieve in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, one of the goals I'm going to work on very hard this year is to get my registered investment advisor's license, which is a bit of a difficult course, but it's just part of what we do, and it's the best thing for my clients, so I'm looking forward to that. We are attempting to downsize to a smaller home, possibly in Vermont. Still not 100% sure on which direction we'll take. We'd like to be in warmer weather, but I have a client base here I'd like to maintain, and I still can do it from a warmer climate, but I'd like to, children are nearby, so we'll want to see them occasionally. And the one thing I'd like to see is some growth in our organization. We've had it before, and obviously we can do it again. And it just, I think, was with all organizations, you find yourself growing and shrinking and growing and shrinking, and just dynamics change, people's needs change, and so that's kind of what I'm thinking of for the next few years for some goals in my life, and just maybe finally retiring and having some fun.
Right. So how do you think BPW will help you with being able to change your career a little bit and get your license and maybe do an off-site type thing, especially if you do it from out of state? Do you think BPW could help you with any of that?
I don't know if they can help me necessarily going forward. Certainly I've found them to be a big help to me to where I am today. Just the being involved in the community, not only with BPW, with some other organizations. I was with the United Way for 5.5 years. I was with the Franklin County Senior Center for 8 years. Serving on the board and helping out there. So I like community involvement. We are a service organization. I believe in service and paying it forward, so to speak. So therefore, I think the one skill that I take from BPW is certainly the networking and some leadership skills. I've always done quite a bit of public speaking, but certainly our individual development program and our young careers programs have taught us additional skills, which I don't know that I would have found those in my other organizations that I've affiliated with. So yeah.
Also a big thing from BPW, I think, especially from working with you so much, is the mentoring part, is that you love to teach new people about the organization and how to function well in it and how to get the most from the programs like IDP and the Young Careerist. And
I think I missed my calling. I think I was meant to be a teacher, and I enjoy working with people and helping them learn, and certainly you learn much more from other people than you teach, that's for sure, I feel. Always have. I enjoy being able to help others to achieve their goals, and quite often in achieving their goals, you achieve different goals of your own that maybe you hadn't even realized were out there. So I would say that, yeah, exactly, that it's, I enjoy working with our newer members and showing them who we are and what we do and what we can do for them and what we can do for our community, because we do a lot in the community that many people aren't even aware that we're there.
Right.
So, yeah.
So what benefits do you find of being a member of Franklin County BPW that you don't get from being a member of other organizations?
The friendships, different friendships, I guess. I often have said that I came to BPW for the business opportunity to see some of the other business people in our community, business and women in our community that own their own businesses. But I have stayed all these years for the friendship. The friendships have been our lifelong. A lot of our more mature members who have now retired from their various careers have moved on to retirement communities and or fun things that they do. And I still stay in touch with them. As a past local president, we have what's called the Past Presidents Organization. And so whenever any existing president gets done serving her year, we initiate them and welcome them into the Past Presidents group. Out of our organization here in Franklin County, because we've been an organization since 1965, we have got about 28 living local past presidents. So we get together twice a year, and we have, in August, we welcome our newest past president, and then in December, we always have a holiday party. With our holiday party, we usually have a project, whether it be gathering food for the food shelf, doing something for the Samaritan House, not Samaritan House, but for Laurie's house.
Okay.
Or even if we've got some of our members who might be in a nursing home environment now, which we have had, trying to ensure that we do something special for them and so that they are not feeling forgotten during the holidays. So I'm not sure if that totally answered your question, but
yeah,
you're headed that way.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so
Definitely.
it's kind of what we've been at. And we still, like I say, meet twice a year, and it's just good to see those faces that I've known now for the past 17 years. So, yeah.
Did you want to talk about our memorial scholarships for the past members?
That would be a great segue into that, yes. We, this coming year, for the first year, we've always, I say always, the Franklin County Career Job Expo, which is going to be coming up this Thursday, we, Franklin County BPW, originated that, I think 15 years ago. I've kind of lost track of time here, but I think it was about 15 years ago. The first year we did it, we held it at Central School, and we had 24 businesses there. The next year we were in the low 40s, and then the following year, or that same year, as we broke up that particular job expo, we were joined by quite a few other community partners who are still into it today. The Department of Employment and Training, the Chamber of Commerce, the Messenger, St. Albans Messenger, the FCDIC, I always say that wrong, but Franklin County Industrial Development Corp. And they've added more members since then. So it's grown and evolved. Out of that, we receive each year, because the Business Professional Women's Group has always assisted in serving and providing service for the vendors there that day in food. We have the food supply and coffee and what have you. So as we do that each year, the community makes a donation back to the Business Professional Women's Organization to use for scholarships. So we get a donation back, and the first year that we started getting that donation back, we named it after one of our longtime beloved members, Lou Benoit, who just wonderful personality, wonderful lady. So we had one scholarship named after her. We usually give 2 additional scholarships each year to the local high schools. And we invite all the Franklin County high schools to submit applications for this process. I think it's being done a little different this year, but it still, I think, touches all of the high schools in the county.
Yep.
And so this year, we are going to be naming 2 of our scholarships after 2 of our deceased members, one being our beloved Patricia Dean, Pat Dean to all of us who knew her well, and Nancy Corey. We've lost both of them in the last 10 years, and they've been a big gap in our community because they did many, many other services for the community, as many of our BPW members do also. And so I think it's going to be quite an honor to have them there this year, and I believe both of their husbands are going to come for the presentation at our June meeting, which will be quite nice. It'll be very touching, a little sentimental, but very touching. So, yeah.
Both of them actually asked to go because they wanted to meet the young ladies that would be receiving the awards in memory of their wives, which
Good.
I thought was great.
Yeah.
I think everybody in the community at least knew their wives or even knew them because they're both quite big in the community.
They're both
so,
very
yeah.
active in the community too. Don is very active in his church, and I can't remember if he did the Knights of Columbus, but I know he's active in his church, and then certainly Al was active here at BFA and with Northwest Access TV and so on for many years with the students, so yeah. So they're well known, and so we don't forget those even when they're no longer with us, whether it be through, unfortunately, death or through retirement. We still kind of keep in touch and reach out to those longtime friends and mentors, and mostly mentors, I think. Certainly some of those members were my strong mentors when I started. Yeah.
And I'm going to be sad when all of you guys retire and leave.
Nah, by then you'll have moved on doing all kinds of fun things.
No.
Additional fun things, I should say.
Yeah. No, I know a lot of them really like to get our newsletter. They like to know what's going on,
Yes.
especially if they're not in state or if they are busy doing other things. A lot of them are out of state with their grandkids, and
Yes.
they aren't able to make it to meetings, but they like to know what's going on. So it's nice to know that they still have that community attachment even though they're not here. And I think we miss a big portion of the connections now through social media and stuff. So it's kind of nice to be able to go to a meeting and actually meet face to face with people and have that connection. I think is definitely a benefit of being a member.
One of our past members, Beverly Connors, is in Florida for the winter this year with another member, Sue Roberts, who's down there with her. They go there for the winter, 3 months, and just out of the blue, a couple of weeks ago, she called and said, "Hey, how are you doing? How's everybody this?" Asking me different questions, and always ask, "How's BPW doing? How are things going? What are you guys up to these days?" So I let her know about the scholarships in June, and she was real excited and touched about that. I believe we will be seeing her for that month's meeting, hopefully.
Good. It'd be nice to have a lot of our older members come back and be able to meet a lot of our newer members.
Yes.
I definitely think that's a connection that we need to have more of.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a great thing.
Though I have to admit that I'm truly enjoying our newer membership that we have right now. I think people often think of us as an older women's organization, and many years ago that might have been true, but as they've moved on, there are probably 5 in my age bracket left, and I can't take and label them all, nor am I going to tell you my age, especially on television. But so the members that we are seeing now are definitely the 25 to 40-year-olds, and I think that's extremely exciting. It encourages me to know that many years after I'm no longer around also, as well as some of the other members my age, that we know hopefully there will be continuity and we will continue on as an organization serving Franklin County.
Right. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that a lot of the misconceptions are gone. Like you said, it's mostly an older generation, but not just that, but different types of jobs. I mean, we have people that are from all walks of life, all different age groups, all different ability levels, all different schooling, all different kinds of careers. So it's kind of nice because I think we have better discussions because it's not just a certain group of people. So I think we're getting a lot more out of our speaker presentations and just out of education in general. So
yeah, I agree.
That's one thing that was kind of cool about spring board last weekend, that we were able to kind of know what each other do, and we went around the room and talked about who people were and where they worked and kind of what they do. It's kind of nice to see what a difference it is. Because a lot of times you have no idea when you look at somebody what they actually do, or a lot of times not just what they do, but what they like to do, because sometimes it's not the same thing.
Well, the other thing too is we definitely are a blended generation and blended sexes. We welcome any men to our organization. We've never had a bar held there. Leon Thompson from The Messenger, one of the writers there, was a member for, I'd say, almost 2 years. He would bring his daughter Sophie with him to the meetings. It was neat. And I know we had a couple other old members years before. Granted, we have been a predominantly female organization, but in our organization, and so that part's neat. And the one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that even if you're retired, you still can be a member. We can have up to 5% of our membership retirees. So that hopefully shouldn't discourage anybody if they want to, say maybe they all of a sudden they want to get out in their community and do something and belong to an organization but don't know where to go or what to get involved with. And they don't necessarily want to, quote, go to the senior center yet, though they have awesome programs. These probably, I think, are more active people and more involved in, some of the daily community items that are going on and business and what's happening in business. So at least it gives them that opportunity to still stay connected but don't have to be working full time.
Right.
Yeah.
And also the other part of that is students. Also, we
Oh yes, definitely
you know,
the
we have a
students.
lot of students who they don't have to be working,
Right.
you know. So that's kind of a thing
High
too.
school and college students we welcome also, yes, definitely. In fact, we had last year, I believe we had 3 high school students who belonged for a while, and
Sure,
the
we
year
have
before
one.
that too. Yep. So harder to get our college students. I think they got full plates,
Right.
but and other than that, they're we certainly welcome them. Yeah. So. And our new venue is working awesome. We're down at
Yeah.
Green Mountain Coffee, Green Mountain Cafe, not coffee. Sorry about that, Green Mountain Coffee. We'll give you a plug anyways.
Right.
But Green Mountain Cafe, where the Cadillac Motel is located, and Hope and Jared, who are running that, are doing a real good job, and they're making us most welcome on our Tuesday night meetings there now. They are normally closed to the public on Tuesdays, but they are accommodating us right now, and it's been really nice change. We've certainly tried to reach out in our community to not just one particular venue. We've been at Jeff's Seafood for years, we were at the Knights of Columbus, we've been at Chow Bella's, we've been at One Federal. So we're not just keeping our business in one spot, we're trying to, share our opportunity and our meetings with everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
And the one really good thing about there is, like you said, they're close to the public.
Yeah.
So it's a very quiet venue, and you're able to have more of the personal interactions among people without having all the background noise and, servers with different people. So it really works out really good.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's a great venue. They have good food too.
Yeah, the food is awesome.
Their maple bread pudding, oh my gosh, that maple almond stuff is
Yes.
amazing. I tried to make it and it didn't work.
Oh, okay.
So
Maybe, I don't think Jared will share the recipe either, from what I've heard.
I doubt it, but it's good.
Yeah.
Very good.
So
So that covered a bunch of the misconceptions.
Yeah,
Is there anything in particular you want everybody to know about BPW?
that we are the best kept secret in Franklin County. But
that many
I've been here 17 years, and we've been saying that for 17 years. And one of our partners, which is St. Albans Messenger, they have been awesome. I mean, they constantly put articles in there about us now. They always have. They've always, cover events. Certainly Channel 15 has done an excellent job. They have come to so many meetings and given us coverage. They'll come to the job fair this week and support that. But, excuse me. So we've got a lot of community supporters. So I'm not sure, and now you or whomever has been running our BPW Franklin County, bpwfranklincounty.com site. That's awesome. It's a good link, and then we're linked to a lot of the other links that are there, the Twitter account, the Facebook account, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of social media that we're reaching out, and we're using it. So I'm not quite sure why we're still the best kept secret, but we seem to be. The biggest misconception, I think, is that you had to, quote, be a professional. So what does professional businesswoman mean? And I've had people say, well, I can't join your organization. I'm not a professional businesswoman. And I'm like, well, what do you do? Well, maybe they've been a farmer's wife all their life. That doesn't matter. Nothing. We, as you mentioned a little bit earlier, we have got people. We've had nurses, teachers, doctors, lawyers, financial service people like myself, people in manufacturing. I mean, let's face it, when I started BPW, my first year to BPW was a charter member in 1965. And that year, Jean Marshall, who we have an award for each year, was the president. And I got invited to that meeting by a lady named Maggie Dixon, 6'4", tall. She was also my boss at IBM at the time, and she invited me to the meeting. And I belonged for about a year and a half. And then I was living in St. Albans at that time before we built a home in Georgia, Vermont, where we lived for 30 years. So once we moved to the Georgia area, and I was constantly traveling towards IBM that way, I didn't come back to the meetings, so I missed out being a charter member, but I came back, like I said, in '96 and have been an active member ever since. So there's a lot there. What I find that BPW brings to any male or female that would like to look at our organization is many opportunities. Some people have come to us and just wanted socialization and fellowship, so to speak, and so they found that with us. Many have wanted to improve their speaking skills or learn leadership skills, or just to, I'm looking for work. Do you know of any jobs? I'd like to belong to an organization, or I'm looking for a career change. we have placed so many women over the years that I'm aware of that have, belonged to our organization, have lost a job, needed a new job, and we've been able to connect them through our many people that we have in different diverse backgrounds. We've been able to connect them with new employments, and some of them some awesome careers. So that's certainly something that we bring to the table for folks, to give you an opportunity. We've got such a diverse group in our own organization that when we have the nights that we share, who are you and what do you do, that right there is an introduction and a foot in the door sometimes for other employment opportunities. And I've seen that happen for 17 years without fail, and it's been very successful. And we've had some great supporters. The one thing that I really like that we do in our community and helps us get out there is, one, we try to do service whenever possible. We've had many events that we've supported and been in the park, and we've done voter registration. We've had flower shows that we've sponsored. We quite often partner with other groups. We partnered quite a few years ago. We partnered with the Garden Club in the flower shows, in the gardening shows, and then we partnered with the Historical Museum doing the Dine Out St. Albans for several years. So we're always trying to look for other groups that, many of our businesses, they are so generous to us whenever we go knocking at their door for support, that by doing partnerships with other nonprofits, at least you haven't got two people knocking at your door, or two organizations, you've just got one, and we do an effective program together, build some wonderful relationships with other nonprofits in our communities, and then have an opportunity to give that back to our communities. We, Franklin County business professional women, tend to put most of our money back into our programs. Right. Programs being our individual development program, our Young Careers program, where we give a cash award now for the competition, and or we give a year's membership, and then definitely we cover their expenses to go on to state competition and regional competition. So that's one of the small areas where we put some money back into our community and our members. But we also do the scholarships every year. I don't know of any year we have not done the scholarships since I've been a member. And we've increased it. I was just running some rough figures, and believe me, they're not concrete, but we've got records I could go back. I don't care to do that, but we could. But I just remember when we used to give a $250 scholarship, and now it's a $500 one per high school student. So if I go back to roughly when I think we possibly started it, we've so far, at least for the 17 years that I've been affiliated, we have given pretty close, I'd say $35,000 in scholarships, which, for a small organization, I think is great. I think it's great. So, yeah. So that's kind of, I think, what we're giving back to our community. And certainly we've got a lot to offer. I think that, I hope that anyone that sees the show today will come and take a look at us. There's no obligation. You gotta, come take a look at us and see who we are, build some relationships, certainly expand your career goals possibly through us, and at least we can steer you in different directions. I know many of us are in the hiring market. We've got members that at least know of that. I know I personally myself am trying to hire fellow insurance or investment agents, and so it gives me an opportunity to network through our organization to do that, as well as out in my own field of work. So those are the types of things we do. Yeah.
And our big fundraiser for this year, you're talking about fundraisers and past ones we've done, our big one this year is our first ever Calcutta. So instead of doing a few little fundraisers, we're going all out and doing one big one. So
something a big one. Yes.
Yeah, it should be fun. It'll be this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yeah, it's coming up.
I think we might have a few tickets left.
Yep.
So if anyone is interested, it's $125. It's a Calcutta, and it's going to be held at the American Legion, and it's a $125 donation. And is it a donation considered? I don't remember if it's tax deductible, but anyways, it's $125.
I don't think it is, because you get something.
$125 is the ticket, and that will give you 2 dinners put on by wonderful Bob Santini, and he does a marvelous job. He's an excellent chef. And then in addition to that, you will get 1 ball entered in for, I believe, a $3,000 final prize. And then there's going to be some dancing afterwards. So for those who want to get out and have some fun and a decent meal and just support a worthwhile organization and giving back to our community through the scholarship programs and our individual programs, it's a great chance to get out.
Definitely.
I know I'm going. Are you going?
Yes, I'm going. I'll be there.
So
good food, money, and dancing. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, so looking forward to it. So that will be our big one this year. We are possibly going to look into a couple others maybe as the year goes on, but right now that's the biggest one we're going to be doing, and so that hopefully we're not asking our individual businesses in town to necessarily support us that way this year, though many of them have. You've got some great sponsors.
I got a list of them I put up on the website yesterday.
Great list of sponsors of many businesses that did buy a Calcutta ticket. I don't know if they'll be attending, but they were nice enough to buy the tickets. We certainly hope we'll see many of them there so we can thank them in person.
Yes, I've heard from a few of them. There's a little bit of a competition going on, so.
Aha, great. That's wonderful.
Which is a good thing.
I love competition.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Definitely a good thing.
Yeah.
We were talking about partnering with local organizations and other local organizations in the community. This year, our April meeting on April 16th will be a community awareness meeting. And we've invited a few other nonprofits in the community to come and set up a table to be able to show not just our members, but our guests coming in, what else is available in the community for other aspects. BPW can help you with networking and mentoring and helping you to build your skills to be able to further your, not just professional, but also your personal goals.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of other organizations that are wanting to come in and talk about other things. So we're going to have like vendor tables set up at our April meeting for people to walk around and get brochures and phone numbers and have kind of an idea of other support systems in the community.
Great.
So I thought that was a pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
And Gina took a lot of that on and she did a great job. We have quite a few different people are coming to that. So that should be
good to hear.
Definitely good.
Yeah,
definitely
good opportunity. April 9th is Equal Pay Day.
Yes.
Equal Pay Day. I don't know if anyone noticed I have on a red purse today.
Yes, I saw that.
And the red purse is a significant item for business and professional women because it takes us until usually mid-April to earn the same pay for the same job, for the same educational requirements that it takes a man to earn it through December 31st. And so we have our little red purse to put what a little extra money we have in it. And when you look back, I certainly know, we just passed this pay equality and time off and so on and so forth, this bill this past week in the legislation. And I kind of thought to myself, what do you mean equal pay? We passed that back in 2002. But they've added a few items to it, so that's what we're seeing right now is a few more items added on to the Equal Pay Day. But we celebrate Equal Pay Day on April 9th this year, and I believe some of our members are going to Montpelier to talk with the governor and to let people know down there we're still out here and we are still trying to get equal pay for equal employment, equal skills. And so I'm hoping, things will continue marching forward. I'm amazed the number of women I talk with that do not realize that they do not make the same as a man does for an equal job.
Awareness. It's a big thing.
It is. It is.
Huge.
Yep. So anyways, that's where we're at.
So great.
Yeah.
So we hope to see everybody at our Calcutta this weekend and also at our Equal Pay Day. If you go online to our site, you can check it out and send us an email, and a lot of people are carpooling down, so that'd be great to have people come to that. And then also our April meeting is April 16th. You can RSVP for that on our website as well, and like us on Facebook and watch all of our TV episodes on YouTube and also on our website. So that'd be kind of cool. You get an idea of what we do and where we come from and where we're going, and it should be good. So great. So
I'd like to blow out the walls at Green Mountain Cafe.
I love that too, and I'm sure they would too. So great.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
So it was very nice having you on here. Thank you
for the opportunity, and look forward to the April meeting and all future times with you gals.
Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. Have a good night.